By this time, I wanted to do something devilish. I wanted to snap and just tell her to shut the up. But I didn't. Nope, I didn't do it. Okay, so the other day, I'm at my practicum and I meet her. And we've all met her, right? The one who states their entire government name when they first meet you, or the one who seems a bit too chipper, odd in every sense of the word, and just downright weird. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with those qualities. I really mean that. There's nothing wrong with those qualities at all. But I met her. The person who's had a few bad experiences with certain groups of people, and now all they do is degrade everyone claiming to be a part of that group. Her, that person. Does that sound familiar? Because this person, we'll call her Jody, an ex-Christian who now strongly hates Christianity, wants nothing to do with it, and that's fine. But me being a follower of Christ, I sat at the table and I thought, wow, you're no longer a Christian, but here you are behaving the way you say or the way you claim Christians do. And as we sat at the table, she kept going on and on and on about why Christianity is flawed and how Christians don't love enough, just love enough, and seem to negatively impact everybody they come into contact with. I mean, she was going in on Christians, y'all. Now, again, I'm a Christian. And by this time, I wanted to do something devilish. I wanted to snap and just tell her to shut the up. But I didn't. Nope, I didn't do it. Instead, I pushed through that frustration because it was very frustrating. And I pushed through it. I kindly explained to her why placing all Christians in a box wasn't wise or fair. And I then decided to acknowledge and feel her pain because that's what it was about. And yeah, I could have matched her energy. That's the easy part, right? But in doing that, I would have misplaced my responsibility to help, not to hinder. And getting angry and trying to prove her wrong, because let's face it, we all want to do it. We've all been there. Trying to prove her wrong would have hindered her. So I humbled myself, did the complete opposite. I did not react out of pocket. I wanted to. I did not react out of pocket, and things shifted, y'all. A few seconds passed. She looked at me, not as postured as before. Her chest wasn't all out. And she started sharing her church hurt. How the church she'd known and loved rejected her autistic son and her family when she needed them the most. Sounds familiar? She had given so much of herself, so much to the church, and now felt overlooked and unloved. Sounds familiar? It was like everything she learned about what it meant to be a Christian had become one big disappointment. And I can relate. And because I could relate, I then understood why much of what she said, it wasn't logical. Yet it was still painful, and how lumping whole groups of people into one negative category made her feel a little bit better. And while I still so badly, I mean badly, y'all, I wanted so badly to challenge her outlook, I realized none of that mattered in that moment. Her feelings were hers, wrong or right. They didn't have to make sense to me. They didn't even have to be fair. All of that was her reality. It was the world she knew, that shaped by her experiences. And no matter how much I disagreed, the truth was, I couldn't say I'd lived her life. Ooh, that is so powerful. And that truth hit me so hard, that reality hit me so hard, because if I'm honest, and I try to be, my first reaction was to take her negativity personally, like it was some kind of jab, right? Or a vendetta against me. But when I thought about it, it really wasn't about me at all. Not at all. It was about her trying to make sense of the stuff she'd been through. Been there, done that. And who am I to invalidate that because her feelings, her views didn't align with my perspective? I couldn't invalidate that. That question got me thinking about how often we encounter someone like that, right? Who's all fire and frustration and tests every ounce of our patience. I mean, like gets on every last one of our nerves. You know, we've all had that moment. And at that moment, it's so easy to judge, to write them off, or to even get angry. But maybe in those moments, what we actually need to do is just pause, right? Take a breath and hold space for their hurt, even if it's messy. And most likely it's going to be messy. So I'm not saying it's easy, not at all, because that day, it wasn't like I walked away feeling like some saintly human, some saintly enlightened being. Not at all. It was awkward. It was draining. But at the same time, I felt like I grew from it. Not because I agreed with her, but because I didn't have to. That is so powerful. What mattered in that moment was that I chose empathy over anger. And that to me felt like progress. So I don't know, have you ever had a moment like this? A time when you've had to bite back your first reaction, right? Bite your tongue and choose to understand rather than react. And if you have, when did you decide to be the bigger person, even if it wasn't fun or fair? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not fun and it's not fair. But anyway, I wanted to share this because it's been stuck in my head. It was such an aha moment for me, and I figured you'd appreciate it. So, and listen, I know we're all trying to be better about giving people grace, even when it's hard. I know I am. I'm trying to give people grace, and I know that you are too. Look, thank you so much for being here. I am Katie Gates, and this is the place where I help women like you and me become the best people that we can be. If that is your thing, subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and drop me a comment. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I will speak to you later. Bye-bye.